morning to everybody. Thank you for being here. Beginning of a very important week in the city of Tucson's history. Before we get started, I'd like to recognize some of the elected officials and dignitaries who are with us this morning, starting, of course, with Congressman Raul Grijalva, Congressman Ron Barber, and Congressman Earl Blumenauer. I'd also like to extend my appreciation to my colleagues on the City Council, Regina Romero in Ward 1, Bob Cunningham in Ward 2, Karen Ulick in Ward 3, Shirley Scott in Ward 4, Richard Fingers in Ward 5, and Steve Kuzacek in Ward 6. Also a part of this, South Tucson Mayor Paul Diaz and former Tucson Mayor Bob Walkup. I know especially yesterday today. And Pima County Supervisor Richard Elias. And we're also lucky to have the support of a wonderful state delegation. Some of them are here, but I'm going to name them: State Senators Dave Bradley, Olivia Cajero Bedford, Andrea D'Alessandro, Steve Varley, who had a little to do with this project, and then State Representatives Demian Klinko, Rosanna Gabaldon, Stephanie Mock, Arcadio Sodate, Victoria Steele, Bruce Wheeler, and Ethan Orr. So a lot of good support. Now, for those of us who had the responsibility of actually building these tracks and getting these cars, there's two people who really deserve special appreciation, and that is Executive Director of the Pima Association of Governments, Farhad Mohimi. Farhad. And Tucson City Manager Richard Miranda. Richard. So thank you all for coming. Today we celebrate a great achievement and the people who made it happen. Many helped bring the streetcar to Tucson. Many contributed and are contributing to the rebirth of downtown. 3 Tucson mayors have presided over this project along with their colleagues on the council. Over the past 10 years, the streetcar has gone from idea to plan to execution. And we're grateful to everyone who had a hand in this project, the dreamers, the pragmatists, and those who are a bit of both. Let's not forget that this has been the largest construction project ever undertaken by the city of Tucson. And let's not forget the people who managed the project, but most particularly the people who built the line and the streetcar themselves. With those who worked on the streetcar for TDOT, the RTA, Oregon Iron Works, or one of the contractors, please raise your hands for the people who really did the work. I want to personally thank you for your hard work. You know, all of us politicians like to talk about what we accomplished, but I didn't see one of us out there laying a rail on it. So for those days, those nights and weekends, this has truly made it worth it. On Sunday, the Star reported that the streetcar was the culmination of a decades-long effort, and that's true enough. But what really started things moving was support from our Southern Arizona congressional delegation. We're very grateful to Representatives Grijalva, Pastor, Giffords, and Barber. Their help bringing the streetcar helped bring back downtown. Today, we're joined by Tucson's representatives, Congressman Grijalva and Congressman Barber, and a special friend from Portland, Congressman Blumenauer. So after brief introductions, I'd like to give each of these distinguished gentlemen an opportunity to speak. First, Congressman Grijalva. Early on, you saw the streetcar's potential to transform our city. You secured seed funding for the project even before it had been approved by the Department of Transportation. You got the streetcar included in a House bill in 2003. And that turned out to be very important because it allowed the project to be considered shovel-ready when federal funds became available in 2009. That year and the next, you made the case for the streetcar to President Obama and his administration. You were instrumental in Tucson receiving the largest Tiger grant for a rail project in the United States. And all told, you helped secure more than $73 million in federal funding for the streetcar. You have helped to bring the university and the central city to the west side. You have helped to bring science and technology and connect it to history and culture. And you did that not just because of your love of Tucson, but also because of your love for the understanding of an environmental infrastructure project. Congressman Grijalva, thank you for your leadership in bringing the streetcar to Tucson. Please, if you could say a few words.
Thank you, Mayor. Kind introduction and the comments. I appreciate them very much. And to Mayor and Council, thank you very much for your recognition of whatever role I played. I appreciate that very, very much. I also want to acknowledge my friend Mayor Walkup, who was a very constructive pain to our office for a good 6 years, and that pain was his advocacy to make sure that we got this done, and I want to thank you for that, sir. President Tucker and Jim Brown that are here today are the team that represents the city of Tucson in D.C. I just want to tell you how instrumental they were in making sure the meetings happened, the information was before us, and that my colleagues were also informed, and they advocated so well and so professionally for this project. And I want to personally thank them very, very much. Thank you. I want to acknowledge Chris Como, who from the outset has been in our office working on infrastructure and little things like the budget. And I want to thank him very much from the beginning. He has been the staff person that has been the point on this. And thank you very much for being here today, Chris. Later on, they're going to do a plaque, a stop over there on the west side. And I want to thank everybody. I particularly want to thank the city manager, Mr. Miranda, a fellow alumni of Sunnyside, and for finding that yearbook and getting that picture and putting it on that plaque. Thank you, sir. I don't necessarily credit is an interesting thing, and we, those of us in public life and those of us that work for the public, sometimes overdo the idea of what credit is due. But I do want to say that I'm a beneficiary of some acknowledgments today, and I appreciate that very much. But as a beneficiary of that, let me give credit also where credit is due. I acknowledge the Mayor and Council's role. I also want the leadership, the hard work, the vision, and the determination of so many other people that worked on this project. Unsung, some unknown, neighborhood activists, professional staff in the transportation department, the contractors that built, and the men and women that are going to operate and maintain the streetcar and the safety of the public. I'm a beneficiary of their hard work and their vision. I grew up in this town. I grew up when Tucson had JCPenney, BB's, Aquaman, and the White House for those of us that played on layaway, and 3-4 theaters, great restaurants, Kippy's hamburgers, nightlife, and for me, at this point in my career, in my life, to see that come back up again, I couldn't ask for anything more. To see that life with this city come back up. And this streetcar is environmentally critical. It's about sustainability of our planet and our community. It's so important. And it's about the future. This precedent being set with these 3.9 miles is just the precedent. It's the beginning of something long-term and very exciting for the city of Tucson. It's about connectivity, connecting communities in a different way. And this town, this city of ours, has always seemed small to us. And it should stay, at least in our minds, small. And this streetcar and this light rail is going to keep that connectivity alive. When we're talking to someone, it's about redevelopment and revitalization. This streetcar, of all the initiatives that I can think of, that we as a community have attempted, and some good, some not so good, try to revive areas, try to bring areas up. This streetcar is probably going to be the tool in that toolbox of redevelopment and revitalization for the city of Tucson. That is how important it is. So I'm proud to be here. I'm very proud of the role we play, and extremely grateful and proud of the role every one of you play. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Carson Grijalva. Congressman Barber, when you came into office, you hit the ground running. You also understood the streetcar's power to attract investment, and that a vibrant downtown leads to a strong local economy. Along with Congressman Grijalva, you helped us obtain the funding for the 8th streetcar, which was required, and helped bring the project to a successful conclusion, which we celebrate here today. I know you stand on tall shoulders with regard to this project, but we want you to know how much we thank you for your support. Please.
Well, thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for being here. It's a very exciting day in Tucson to have my first ride. All of our first ride, those of us who are traveling this morning on one of these wonderful vehicles. I just had a chance to walk on one. The first time I'd actually been inside. It's amazing. It's so beautiful. It's so well designed with Tucson in mind. So we are, I think, going to enjoy, all of us, the opportunity to ride the modern streetcar. I want to thank everyone who has been involved. Particularly, I want to thank my colleague, Congressman Grijalva, who did a lot of the heavy lifting very early on to make sure that we got the money we needed from the federal funds to make this possible. Some of you were here on February 18th in 2010 when my friend and colleague and former boss Gabby Giffords welcomed Secretary LaHood. Secretary LaHood was in charge of the Federal Department of Transportation. And at that moment we were announcing the largest ever target grant for this type of project. $63 million was awarded at that time. And during that celebration, Gabby said this: "You are bringing us very exciting news today. This is something Tucsonans have been waiting for years, and it will deliver a real kickstart to downtown Tucson, the historic heart of our centuries-old community." You know, we've had a lot of naysayers, but they are proven wrong today. In fact, I think they've been proven wrong for the last several months and years, as downtown has come back in anticipation of the streetcar linking all of downtown with the university. And at the time we celebrated the award of the grant, it was predicted that the project would create jobs, And today we know that it's created over 1,000 permanent jobs in this community. It's an economic boost to the businesses along the streetcar route, and we now know that the project has brought over $800 million of investment along the route. If you haven't had a chance to come downtown on practically any time of the day, but particularly at night, you'll see how vibrant downtown has become. And you know, when businesses are looking to relocate or to set up shop in a new city, they look for a lot of things. Of course, we have the weather to offer them. We have government working with them to bring them in with reasonable tax incentives. But most companies who are coming to any city look to see if there's a vibrant, exciting downtown for entertainment, for food, just to mix with people in the community. And we have one. We've brought it back. Congressman Grijalva was reflecting on his youth when downtown was a thriving place. And I remember when I came here in 1959, my wife's a native, so she had a little bit more experience. She used to tell me about walking from her home just behind Tucson High with about 50 cents in her pocket to go to the Fox for Saturday morning movies. And of course, we all shop downtown. We came downtown for culture and arts. And today, downtown is back big time with 60+ restaurants, the Rialto, Club Congress, the Fox, the Arizona Theater Company, and more entertainment all across the board, and shops and businesses that have reopened or newly opened. I worked downtown for many years over at 400 West Congress, and it was pretty good then, but that was several years ago, and now I'd love to be working downtown, but then I'd be having my office in our own district, and that's not okay, right? So we have to keep to our own district, but it's really exciting. I mean, my wife and I, my grandkids, my daughters, their husbands, just love coming downtown, and now we have another way to be here, particularly without having to park downtown, although there's plenty of parking. We can ride the streetcar. My grandkids used to love to ride the old Pueblo streetcar. Now they're going to have a new excitement. And I don't know if there's a bell on this thing, but they used to let them ring the bell on the old streetcar, but maybe that won't be possible this time around. But they'll enjoy it, I know. So let's think about all the people who made this possible. Obviously, Congressman Grijalva, the city council, the mayors. Is Mayor Walk up here yet? Where is he? Where's the mayor? Bob. Let's give it up for Bob Walkup, who really did this. And I want to just reiterate what the mayor said. Let's give it up for Senator Steve Farley as well. His vision has been long-standing around downtown. You know, when we have new visitors in Tucson, I always like to take them downtown so they can see the incredible murals that Steve designed and helped us put up. So yeah, awesome. So we have to remember that this is a project that 60% of Pima County voters approved in May 2006 as a part of the Regional Transportation Plan. And of course, Congressman Giffords joined with Congressman Grijalva during her time in office when I was the district director to support the project. The people of Pima County had already approved the 50% match in money to operate the system, and the University of Arizona was a very strong player and partner in the whole project. The streetcars were purchased from an American company, Oregon Iron Works, and the CEO is here, I believe. Where's the gentleman? Okay. Assembled in the United States, American-made, and this is one of the more exciting parts of this project. I also want to acknowledge my colleague, our colleague, Congressman Grijalva, and my colleague from Portland, Congressman Earl Blumenauer. You know, I think, you got your streetcars running in Portland?
Oh,
yes, of course. There you go. Earl has been a great ally and partner in all matters related to transit and infrastructure, and we're welcoming him back to Tucson. It's great to have him here and to have that partnership with his district and with the city of Portland. Each streetcar contains 3.8 miles or 20,064 feet of electrical wire, in case you're interested, little factoids here. 25 gallons of paint was used on each streetcar, and the design of the vehicle includes 28,893 individual drawing sheets. All of the details that I know you're taking notes about and we'll be talking about later, and I'm sure the news will be reporting. Today, the modern streetcar is an exciting project that has, over the past couple of years, bring back our beautiful downtown. It has brought a variety of Tucson cuisine and entertainment, as I mentioned, and if you come downtown on any night, not just on Saturday night, and you want to dine in one of the new restaurants, you better make a reservation. They are packed and great food. So I want to congratulate the City of Tucson and its many partners for just an incredible job in completing this project. This was not an easy lift. The money was there, but there's a lot of details, a lot of work to be done once the money's in hand. This project was a massive undertaking, and this is proof positive that our city will continue to lead as we move forward as a community in the state. We are a small town in many ways, as Raul said. That's one of the reasons many of us like living here. We live in a big city, but it's like a small town where everyone seems to know everyone, one degree of separation here. And so we have now another reason to connect, another way to connect. Tucson is ready to lead Arizona into a new and exciting area of economic development. And I want to thank everyone who came and everyone who had a hand in making this possible. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Thank you all.
Thank you, Congressman Barber. Our special guest today is Congressman Blumauer. Congressman Blumauer is the father of the American streetcar. And you have been a friend of Tucson and a proponent of our streetcar from the beginning when Congresswoman Giffords brought you here. And I want everybody to know Congresswoman Giffords is not here today, but the reason she's not here is she is vacationing with Mark on the East Coast, a very nice location. So we miss her here, but she is here in spirit and knows about the goings-on. Congressman Blumenauer could see how multimodal transportation options transformed your city, and you work with our congressional leaders to advocate for our streetcar in Congress and with the Department of Transportation. Your efforts led to the events we celebrate this week, and also the rebirth of the U.S. rail manufacturing industry through Oregon Iron Works. And let me point out that the fights for U.S. rail continue on, our local Amtrak and many other projects that we need to fight hard for in Congress, and Congressman Blumauer is a leader in that. I just want to point out to everybody here that you're joining us from Portland, Oregon today, where the high today is expected to be 75 degrees. Today, Congressman, you'll see why Tucson ordered extra air conditioning for our streetcar. Congressman, thank you for helping lead our delegation on this project. If you would please come forward.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. I just got to take a couple of minutes. Steve, you smile over there. All right, Bill and Alice here in the front row. Come on. Trust me. Mr. Mayor, raise your hand. Come on, raise your hand for me. This is my scrapbook. Okay. Thank you. It's true. I've been working on the streetcar issue now for more than a quarter century. I was privileged in a prior life to be Portland's Commissioner for Public Works. And part of our vision to revitalize the downtown, give people choices, was to reintroduce the streetcar that defined our community as most American communities over a century ago. And it was a little hard trying to get moving along. We didn't have the privilege of an American manufactured streetcar at the time. And I'll tell you, anybody who talks about issues, in terms of dealing, try negotiating with people in Europe. When you're a blip on the radar screen and 7 time zones away, heartburn. One of many challenges. But all of those challenges were worth it. Those of you who visited Portland in the last couple of years have been able to see over $5 billion of investment along the alignment that was originally extended 4 times. And now we've got a new streetcar on the other side of the river. And next year, we're going to celebrate the closing the loop with the opening of the largest bridge in America with no automobile traffic. It's just bikes, pedestrians, streetcar, and light rail. And it's all about giving people choices, reducing carbon footprint, saving energy, and giving signals to the development community that this stuff is here to stay. Since we initiated our efforts, I could not be more pleased. We've got now 25 streetcar cities around the country in various stages of development, or in some cases, operation. The Obama administration, through the Tiger grants and some small starts legislation I have, has sponsored a dozen of these projects. And $500 million sounds like a lot of money, but in DC parlance, that's rounding error, right? That can be an expensive interchange someplace. But it has revitalized communities across the country. But I will tell you, there is no project that I have felt better about, that I've received more orders from the mayor, from Gabby, from your current delegation to sort of be there with you, cheering it on, having an opportunity to add my voice to the administration than what you've done here. Steve took me on a tour last year. I mean, this was a year before completion, and you can just see the development being reoriented. You can see the opportunity that people are seizing on, and I am absolutely convinced that people will be stunned at what's going to happen, tying the community together, linking with the university. It's going to be a signature of your community. And it would not have been possible without an extraordinary team. The reference to Gabby, I appreciate. Raoul, Ron, the mayors, the legislators, stocking people. I mean, it's really been phenomenal. It's been phenomenal. And you're helping launch in a very tangible way this national movement. I mean, let's face it, I'm the congressman from Portlandia, okay? You know, and it's true. I mean, those are my people. Actually, I watched the first 3 episodes before I figured out that it was a parody and not a documentary. Those are my people. And even though the example that we've done in Portland, I think, has resonance, a lot of America is not going to relate to the left coast where it rains all the time and people jump on the streetcar to get out of the rain. That's Portland. But you're launching a new chapter in the streetcar that's going to make a difference for people throughout the Southwest, and in terms of the way that you put the project together. I am excited that Oregon Iron Works, Kevin, thanks for being here. These folks manufactured the first American-built streetcar in 57 years. And they have sparked. I mean, it's really fascinating because now there's some people scratching their heads and saying, well, maybe we want to get into this. I welcome that. I think that's cool. These folks are committed. I've watched them build it from scratch, work with suppliers from the upper Midwest. I mean, it's not just American assembled, it's American built, and using manufacturing expertise around the country. So, development, manufacturing, a vision for your community, and a model for America in terms of how it works, the political partnership and leadership. I can't say enough. Actually, I'm going to be talking a lot about what you're doing. I'm going to take this out as I do my little streetcar evangelism. I'm going to tell, come to Tucson, see what they're doing, shop, eat, enjoy, but reflect on what a community's commitment and vision for its past and its future can do. Congratulations.
I think what we're going to do for the media is let you take the congresspeople off camera, and we'll take a few minutes to let you get all that done, but if that's okay. All right, check that out. And then we'll take 5 to 10 minutes, let the media get their interviews with whomever they would like, And then those who are boarding the streetcar, it looks like it's ready for us out there. For those who are not on the streetcar, if you would like to join us over at the Mercado for the ceremony honoring Congressman Grijalva, I think we're doing that hopefully as close to 10 o'clock as possible. So am I right on that?
10:20.
10:20 now. But anyway, so thank you for being here, and thank you for the beginning, which is going to be a wonderful week for our community. Appreciate it. Thank you. All right, good morning, everybody. Did you enjoy the ride? Yeah. All right, make sure to buy your monthly streetcar passes on sale now. We're at the western end of the streetcar line, and we've come here to thank Congressman Grijalva for his leadership in helping bring the streetcar, and we're going to dedicate a plaque in his honor. I think all of you know that Congressman Grijalva was instrumental in getting the streetcar money at the earliest stages. He championed this project for us in Washington with his colleagues in Congress, with the President, with the Department of Transportation. The beginnings of the streetcar predate my election by many years, decades if you go by the STARS account, but things really started moving once Congressman Grijalva got involved. He successfully included the streetcar in a 2003 House bill. And the way Washington works, these guys can explain it a lot better. Although, no, they can't. Although it didn't get funding at that time, it was an important step because years later, when you had to have a shovel-ready project, because of that funding, this project was considered shovel-ready. And believe me, during the time of the Great Recession, you wanted your community to have shovel-ready projects. So that vision that many years earlier helped us greatly. You know, today we're all used to Congressman Grijalva. Now, I'm going to be careful here, being an old hand in Washington. He's co-chair of the, you'll get your chance. He's co-chair of the Progressive Caucus, a frequent guest on national news shows. But let's remember this, when he did this work for Tucson, he was just a freshman congressman, and that accomplishment at that time was no small accomplishment. After securing the seed money, he did more to make this public work project happen. He continued to press and champion so that when the Tiger Grant opportunity came along, he helped us get what ultimately turned into $73 million of federal money in this community. And I want to point out to people think about, oh, federal money. That federal money is money that created jobs. It's money that put money into our community for people to spend. This is not money in space. This is money that we got to our people so they could work and so they could make our community prosper. Now the stars had to be in alignment to get the streetcar here, and Raul knows that probably better than anybody. But fortunately, the leadership we had in Washington, the leadership we had at the state level, the RTA, all of them knew how to move the bureaucracy in DC. And even as we were building this project, probably no one's heard that we've had a couple bumps in the road. When we had to go back to Washington, to move Washington to help us get the project done, Congressman Grijalva was there for us. So again, it is well deserving that at this place on the west side, we are having a plaque for Congressman Grijalva. And I'm going to leave it to Congressman Grijalva. He already told me, but I forgot. Do we want to show your high school picture first? Or talk first? Let's do it.
No, let me talk first because I don't want to shock you with the comparison.
Thank you. Congressman Raul Grijalva.
Thank you. Let me thank my colleagues Mayor for his kind introduction and comments. My colleagues, Mr. Blumenauer, Mr. Barber, who have been great allies in getting this investment into the city of Tucson and into this community. All I can say is that this is very special. Long after I'm gone, people will come up to this plaque and go, who was he? But it'll be an important reminder that this streetcar is the future. It is also because of this site. They asked me, I said, I really like this site because it's also the linkage to the past. And Mayor and Council have been phenomenal in understanding that this is an investment. This is going to be so successful that we're going to be discussing how to move forward with other routes and other extensions in the future. And that is a wonderful precedent. I said earlier, I'm a beneficiary of a lot of people's work. This acknowledgement today is a consequence of many unsung people that put too many hours and too much toil and too much heart into this project. And so in some small way, let me thank you. And I'm very honored and humbled by this designation of this topic. With that, thank you, Mr. Mayor, Mayor and Council, colleagues.
Countdown.
Yeah, should we do a 3, 2, 1? I'm not sure how it's going to work, but let's do it. 3, 2, 1. All right. A little more.
Thank you, Mayor.